before, the last time we saw Cash, that I would like to see teams do more. You can play like one player like passively on A, and then you just stack push B. You get all the info, you don't lose B immediately if there's a push there, and you can just trade out if there is. So it's a pretty good look, but that's all the info. Now you can see VP going to react to that. Snacks throws down a molly to buy time. Oh, that's really smart by Snacks going into the checkers area as his teammates are also trying just pushing basically everything, fighting everywhere. Snacks is going to basically find out that the B bomb site is clear, but they're planting on A at the same time. It's fighting all over the place. As it's just body left with 2 HP. Madness!
That was such a smart heads-up play from Snacks.
Yeah.
Throw the molly down behind him, and then just instead, I don't know, whatever he was planning to do when the round started, whether that was go up highway or not, just cancel that, go an event right away, realize they're going to get terrified when they know that it's an A hit, but then Snacks is in B. Like,
yeah.
That was awesome.
That was really cool. That's one of those things where when we talk about having players that can just make plays just by themselves, and it's a really good play, without anyone in your team saying anything. It's just those are the kinds of players you need in your team. People that can think for themselves and just create awesome opportunities for your team. And that is quite Snacks-esque as well, isn't it? It's very characteristic of Snacks. So the anti-eco now, and this is great. They got middle control. It's fantastic with the AKs. Big advantages. That said, G2 and pistols. It's been a while since I saw a good G2 force buy, but I'm excited for this one.
I love me some middle control.
Into the stack.
Into the stack, indeed. Only one player to run distraction, sees the grenade. Look how slow body. How does he get a second kill with the 5-7? I don't believe it. Byali is the only man standing in this massacre. And the trade is there versus Pro. Did they have any mollies? No, for the sites. That would have been useful, would have been helpful.
Yeah, they had zero, absolutely zero.
That's very curious. Very quick second round from versus Pro there, and that must be frustrating. Honestly, I'm surprised to see somebody with the 5-7 equipped. I've been talking about it recently because it is really hard to kill people with a 5-7. Like if you're the rate at which you have to shoot to land a second, third bullet is so slow. It's honestly absurd. I'm not giving up on it just yet, but the prognosis seems to be fatal.
Yeah, it's. I haven't tried it. I haven't tried it out too much yet. I've always a CZ person. I always felt like the CZ had like a really high skill ceiling and could do so much with it. So I was always really curious about it because it is actually to use it at its peak is actually very difficult, but it's just so sick at its peak. So, and these guys do play this game for a living. So, well, see if GT can hold on to the A bomb site. Patch is going to try to creep in. Can't get anything with the flick. The fact that Mix on the CT side, looking in mind, I was about to say the fact that he has an AK so early is pretty awesome for them, but can they hold on to it? There's a bit of madness there towards the A site. NBK is holding it down. Great anchor player, and he'll be able to spray down the remainder of the team. Pasha will try to go for the wide peak, but Kenny S has the cover. And GT will close. Another AK for them? Yes, 2 AKs. This is the dream. AKs this early on the CT side, that's the dream.
French team with AKs on the CT side. That's a bad situation, man. Honestly.
That's bad.
Even without shocks on this team, like he was one of the people you would look at for an AK on cash, but still got people like NBK, like Apex, like Body as well. Pretty much the whole team. I mean, what can we say? I can't wait to see how Mixwell fits into this team, however. Where is Mr. Mixwell at the moment? Playing the short position or the highway position. I'm having to learn all the North American terms, but I get so confused because a lot of the time Americans call short cats, but then when there's an actual catwalk, they call catwalk cat instead, and then it's just like
what?
So yeah, it's really annoying.
That's strange.
So like short on Mirage, they would call that cats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then sometimes I just like replace short with cat. So on sometimes Cash I'll say cat when I mean highway.
Highway, yeah.
We just say short, but the guy's on actual cat, and I'm just confusing my whole team.
Oh, you guys say short.
Long and short is just a standard for every.
It makes sense, yeah. That's probably that's the better way. Can't disagree.
Huh.
I'll
Anyway.
never say lane and things like that. Sorry, Dan.
That's fine. Kenny S will get a nice little pick off, and that's the Lurker dead. Quick push in towards lockers, and that's going to be a problem. D2 basically hamstringing Well, this round seems kind of over. VP starting to go for desperation plays and getting shut down. I feel like I've got a bad feeling for VP here. It kind of feels like they're going to get completely annihilated. Does anyone else have that feeling?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, four AKs, just watching.
Oh my god.
That's the sign of a bad T side and the CT set 4 AKs.
I mean, 4 AKs on MBK, Apex Body, Mixwell, Kenny S
Hopping.
already hitting on the AWP. CT side of cash.
They better be fired up though. James mentioned this last week, and G2 have 4 games today. So, you know, their whole season could begin and end today. They have a really bad start.
Much like SK. SK are 4 and 6. They started the, I think they're 4. Yeah, they are 4 and 6. And they started their debut with Stewie 0 and 4, which is really rough.
Because they don't have time to go back and look over what went wrong or talk about things. And yeah, they put so much stress on just like one day of matches.
Oh, Kenny's surely been spotted. Is he able to escape this situation? He's got some counter flashes maybe from some teammates. Apex not in the sight just yet. Kenny continues to deliver against these pistols. Can they get to that AWP though? You see Apex protecting the angle. And the shooting gallery continues. I mean, it doesn't bode well for Virtus Pro. Just from that second round, not having any Molotovs on an anti-force buy push into the B bomb site is very strange. But hopefully, if they needed a slap in the face or wake-up call, they've had it. And we will see something better from them in round number 7.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. They lost 2 AKs there.
They had 3 AKs at the end of the round.
No, they had to drop. They had 3 AKs.
Oh, they
AKs
picked up an
drop
AWP.
one for the AWP, yeah.
Gotcha.
But they decided to get another AWP, so I like that decision. It's such a scary prospect, you know. Mixwell, like there's just, I mean, Shox is amazing, but the fact that you have NBK calling, I like that. I actually like that a lot more than having Shox calling, because as amazing as Shox is, I feel like he's never going to be as good.
Ooh.
In that spot. So I feel like I love the configuration that we have here. Mixwell and Kenny S as your 2 AWPers. That is very good.
The U tries to kick things off towards the A site. Nothing doing. Body's got to be careful. Oh, I thought Snax was in the boost position, but no, he's behind the wall. X-ray throwing me off. That's a nice off angle, actually. Don't often see people using that. Good to avoid a lot of flashbangs as well, but of course the smoke lands in a perfect position. We'll see how things continue over there. 2-1-2 set up for the CT side so far. And again, Virtus Pro just getting cut down one by one. Pasha caught with a grenade in his hand, I think.
Yeah.
And there really isn't much response from Virtus Pro to these kills at the moment.
Oh, you got dinged. They're trying to keep it really simple and just the walkout, but like G2 are way too awake for the walkout.
Yeah, and they're also just way too good individually. I feel like
there's certain situations where I saw Virtus Pro do this versus FaZe recently. They actually beat them on cash, I think it was 16-13, and they performed that exact same walkout, and someone was boosted on the box on site, but there was no fence player, and they didn't. I don't think they did what they did normally, which was cause some distraction at mid and take attention away from them. Instead, they kind of like made it seem like they were at A, and then they still walked out.
Yeah. One thing we have to remember too is that, oh, is he really going to do this? Walk out. Oh, Body was full spraying, but Mix was close. I didn't realize. Oh, that feels good. Whenever you get
what
those,
a spread.
That's so nice.
Mixo with that apricot jam.
Everyone's dead already. So one thing to think about this G2 team as well is it's very different to like SK's situation, which is like a comparably like big transfer, for like a really big star player. SK just put Stewie in, and obviously there's a lot of potholes along the way to fill in, like the language barrier and all the rest of it. But Mixel's been playing with G2 for quite some time, right? If I'm not mistaken, like he's been with them for quite a while.
No? I wouldn't say so.
I think it depends.
Like
what you consider a while.
Like at least like a month before these matches.
That's not
what I
some
thought
time.
too.
I mean,
but compared to like Stewie, like going over, like Stewie has comparatively played very little games.
Yeah, I think they boot camped already.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So more practice.
Well, look, we're on the cusp of 6.5 million points. Give it away.
What we're seeing though is as soon as Virtus Pro lose somebody, they immediately go into panic mode and just start like pushing out by themselves instead of taking some time to like since they didn't get the opening kill, to like think carefully about what they can do next.
Yeah.
And it's way too obvious that they keep just running out one after another on different parts of the map as soon as they lose one person.
I have to say, it feels very bizarre what we're seeing from Virtus Pro. It just seems weird. I can't let go of that second run. I might just watch that back later and just.
Oh, when they walked into the stack?
Yeah, just.
Yeah,
just why? Like,
they had no utility at all in the round. They bought they prioritized AKs and then just took mids and just walked in.
Yeah, I need to review. I want to watch that back and just ask why.
It reminds me of when we saw Virtus Pro. I think it was against Fnatic or Gander Cobblestone. And it just looked like they just didn't want to play a Cobblestone. The way that they were playing, like, you know that they have a lot more patience and depth and so on to their game. But we saw, just like we're seeing here, if someone dies, you know, the first little foray doesn't go well, everyone just starts going, just pushing, which is fine. Like, that is a good approach in many respects. But if you're keeping the same pace all the time, and what you're really doing is you're being predictable, and your game becomes very flat because there's no guesswork for the CTs. Then they just have to react. And that G2, that is the game they want to play. They want to play that game. They want a deathmatch against you. That is where they will crush you. So it seems like it's not a good approach, and hopefully VP can salvage some rounds. This game's far from over.
Oh, unfortunate for Pasha. Didn't see the angle in the smoke in time. Mixwell hid in the corner. It is not a spot you can check properly from where Mixwell's standing now. You have to force yourself out, but the CT has the option to quick PQ. Anyway, he's taken forward aggression. Super flank comes into play, but he can't win his duel with Apex. And with that frag, Mixwell might want to head towards the A-bomb site. Got body now falling off the mid position. He knows nobody's there. Mixwell will clear the boost area. Slowly moving forward. Now we'll have a situation reminiscent of Existence level G2, where they'd be executing in main and just get slaughtered by a flank. Although most of the forces are down already. Leaving Snacks alone, do what he can, which is not a lot, and AKs will be collected once again.
They just have an absurd amount of money too. You know, there's something they can do. As soon as they lose somebody, if somebody else is in a position to push out, they can do that. But that's something you do like once every 3 rounds. But on the other rounds, you should really just try to at least get damage in. So you have to see how much money they have. It's because they've just thrown away their rounds once they gave away the opening kill instead of grouping for something or working hard to try to make it 4-on-4.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very strange. And yes, going to be fed. It's 2. Oh, misses the flick. Misses the flick, and he is punished finally. A 3v2 here for VP after the dust settles. Again, almost all the action happening in the first 25 seconds of the round. Another rotation comes in. There's body on the bomb sites, which is really important because he can create a huge amount of delay. Not too many grenades left, all things considered. G2 have expended the majority of theirs, as have VP. There is a single money flash. There it is.
Neo heard Mixwell jump off the roof in mid. He shot a vent to suggest he might be going there, but he gave the sound cue away, so Neo was confident that no one was going to push. Unfortunately, the positioning for G2 was too great for Virtus Pro to do anything with that information. But a small tidbit there. So there is, well, actually this situation not ideal for VP. With the money. 10-1. I mean, this is Virtus Pro appearing to be a flash in the pan on cash.
Yeah, they have a cash too. That's the weirdest part.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like they're playing cash right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't really feel like, it feels like they're DMing at the moment, which is, I mean, that's kind of the thing with VP, like, you know, one map, it looks like this, and another map looks like a really high level game. It's really hard to know what you're going to get with them. But right now, G2 are bending them over their knee and just spanking their ass. That's just what is happening right now.
Yeah, big punish.
Getting their ass spanked. And as you say, there's like a lack of depth. Like, there's a lot of fundamentals when it comes to playing a T side. And you know, one of the ones I highlighted at first is pacing, because that's one of the most obvious ones for VP. We're seeing consistently almost everything happening right at the beginning of the rounds. And that creates a comfort zone for the CTs who just know what to expect. And you know, one of the things on this map, which is a fundamental dynamic in the meta, is creating a situation where you can pick off a CT. There's loads of different ways to do it, and then playing that 5v4. You know, and then usually you force them to take a desperation aggression somewhere, and like, you know, there's you're starting to play cash now. Whereas here we're just sort of seeing VP walk out in a lot of spots, just trying to win battles, not using utility as much.
Yeah, that's the main thing, right? Like, if you're down 4 to 5 on almost any other map, it's way scarier than cash. With 4 players on cash, on T side, you can still do so much.
Yeah, you really can. There's loads of stuff like, you know, you slow the round down, you let the CTs burn some utility.
Walk back for a late mid, like, some stuff will just be given to you for free.
Have people take over their checkers, you know, do it solo, do it with men, and we saw some good dynamics from Finesse with Cloud9 recently about how you can create fakes with the B-lurk player. So there's all kinds of cool stuff that you can do that we're not seeing here from VP so far. Although they're slowing things down now,
yeah,
we're seeing G2 taking a main. And so G2 very active still. And VP might just get backstabbed.
Oh.
Kinesis is going all the way. Oh, does he see? Oh, that's cheeky, isn't it?
Damn.
Wow.
Brutal. That's really hard to deal with. I mean, once he gets to that point, he's going to get a kill for sure. And how are you supposed to know that an op's going to push him in?
VP do have a man on the door position who's most certainly would want to try to create some distraction, I would imagine, because I see G2 are somewhat expectant of this play. And this position is so dangerous. You know it's good for one. Trying to anchor the site. Maybe a chance for VP. They'll be able to spurt into that B bomb site, but the lurker is dead on A.
Yeah, they boosted into the try position, and I don't think it was heard. So an easy frag on the A site, and that leaves VP in a difficult position. Body has a Molotov. There is a smoke as well, so they can create space for the retake from CT. Cut out some of these crossfire positions, and there is the smoke being deployed for one of them. So might be planted for that position, but won't help very much now. Pasha with 4 HP surely has to save the AWP. They push the smoke, he's done for. But they hold on to things for now. Just being careful. You never know with Pasha. There we go. He'll make a run for it. But it's 12-1 for G2.
That was a good round, though. Even though they lost, at least they worked towards that direction. They got the bomb plant down. They got 3 kills. That was so much better than the other rounds where they just started running out everywhere.
Yeah,
he used 1 for 13.
They grew for B. They were able to trade finally, like the next kill in checker. So they're still a man disadvantage, but they at least got 1 more kill. And then took the site, so, you know, if they had more health, post-plant would have been maybe better.
Looked like an actual round. That's for sure. A round of T-side cash. Yeah, we'll see how this one goes. 2-man towards speed storage. They've got the forward smoke to cover the cross, and this threatens checkers. And that's really important because you can see that it creates a situation where nades are used, and there's potential, you're forcing potential rotation as well. So you're just with utility without a bullet fired, you're affecting your opponent's utility, you're affecting their rotations, you're creating pressure. Although, doesn't look, this was a nice little straddled position there.
So it's SK and G2 now who not afraid at all to go for the triple AWP. Snacks finally spots body, wins the duel. But there's a smoke on quad. Oh, and BK can't get to the car position fast enough. Mihu with his only 2nd kill taken out. I love that angle. Damn. More when the smoke isn't down. Smokes normally are.
This is really interesting because I was wondering how Bialy would come into play here. And you can see that, oh, Mixwell. He's just ended it. But this was another great round from VP though. Despite the result, this was a fantastic round. We saw exactly like the stuff we were talking about earlier. They did a lot of stuff towards B, so they were able to take checkers. Whilst they're still working, they decided to try to work A. They found some success, and at the same time, if they had a little bit more success, Bialy becomes a crazy strong lurker in the flank, which may just win the round.
Yeah, they just didn't anticipate the double off. The guy at mid watching like Mixwell watching highway, and Mixwell had a really good shot too, so it's hard to call for that.
much faster pace, and this has caught them off guard. And this is the power of pacing, the power of switching up your pace on the T side. Ooh, nice shot by Pasha.
Did he hear something? Oh, that's lovely from Pasha. Now it's down to Kenny. Showing some presence towards the car position. There should be a gap in the corner of that smoke. Kenny will wait for no gap. He's going to push straight through it. Try and catch him off guard. Nice attempt, but the flick's not there on this occasion. The second round only for Virtus Pro in that half.
And this is a spot where, like, again, it shows you the power of pacing. But if you do this pace every single round, you're just going to get crushed, which is exactly sort of what happened in that massive streak of rounds we saw from at the beginning of the game. But VP have 2 rounds. If they can get a pistol and get themselves, you know, around 5, 6 rounds, they will be in a position to attempt a recovery. But the G2 T side seems like a scary prospect with 13 rounds already.
See how the pistol goes for VP. Neo bringing a third eye to the B-bomb site. Smoke on a kit for Neo. Smoke on a flash for NVK. No P250s on the CT side, or the T side rather. Which is interesting on Cash. It's a map with lots of long runs, so that is surprising to me. Body finds the short range though. Might pick up the USP, but maybe he can return to it, or maybe not. Apex getting taken down. And again, with those kind of duels, surely you want a P250 for that.
Yeah, I don't understand that with a Glock. I think it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's worse than 50-50 by far. It's like a 25-75 kind of duel. Either way, we'll see the big push from G2 come into the B-bomb side in the end. And Mixwell hit a nice shot on the way across. Look at the bomb planted. That's a very good start. And they have the man advantage as well. So G2 heavily favored in this situation. But can they close it out against Snags and Bialy?
Those are some splinters.
I wonder why everyone's taking their silencers off. It's like no advantage.
Because he wants to, Lawrence. Let the man be free. Forrest was doing it for a time as well. Probably just forgot to continue. There is a pistol round for G2. I'm guessing, I think there is a bug in a pistol round. Someone buys 2 flashes. It'll only show 1. So NBK probably had 2 flashes and a smoke grenade there. But you could go P250 flash and a smoke, for example. Par exemple. So G2, in a similar way to Virtus Pro, will have the 1 Molotov on their T side. 1 Molotov can do the job. Ooh, but then they are French. They have the AKs. Maybe they don't need grenades at all. Honestly, man, French teams on Cash. Ooh, Bialy. Mihu will finish off the job. 3 versus 2. There are weapons to collect in mid.
But this is definitely salvageable for G2. They have control of the bomb still. It is inside the warehouse. Yes, it is. Mihu going for the peek. Ooh! Damn. That is very nice. I thought that alpha angle from Mihu was pretty damn good.
I thought he was going to win that too.
Told you, man. French players.
It was a Mixwell that got the kill.
I know, it was a joke.
Was it though?
Yes.
Okay. Didn't sound like a joke.
It's because I got cold, mate. That's why.
We need to find a way to fix you. You're refusing the tramadol. I don't know how to help you,
I'm
man.
missing out on a nuance because of my nasal issues.
How do we fix it?
This is like what happens when you have a cat allergy, is basically how I feel right now.
Oh, I hate that. I have a cat allergy.
I have a cat allergy and 2 cats. Neo, last man standing, move into mid, pick up an AK. I think that's the job. Also, for those people at home, right, I think it was Mihu who picked up the AK in mid, and there were 25 bullets. Some people at home would reload. Like you see Neo now with 24 bullets. Some people would reload, but if you reload, it'll often compromise your position from the sound given away. So you have to be really careful about, even if there are 10 bullets left, you have to ask yourself if you are in a situation where you can reload that gun. What are the consequences of reloading it? Someone's close to probably lose the round. So maybe you have to make a play with those 10 bullets.
Just remember all those times you hit a 1 bullet headshot. Just channel that energy.
Oh god. Pasha has lost his life. Who's next? Oh my god. It's a scary times for VP. Well, I don't know if it's scary. Maybe it's just an
I don't think it's-
inevitability.
Yeah.
That's a strange time to boost if they're worried about the A main threat, because now players come up highway. That guy can't leave. He can't trade. Can't be traded really. So they have to. I don't know what their plan is with him up there if they're worried about a highway take.
Yeah, it feels like a pretty bad position at this time in the round. You don't have control of mids. Mid is completely lost, and now as you say, that player on the boost is just sitting there. Massive gamble spot. You actually have to hope that their team plays it incorrectly to actually make it work. And you can see that they won't play it incorrectly because there's a peak timing into the site. So they play it with perfect timing, and that is just a great example of what you were talking about there. And
I like the care from Apex as well, because when he got the kill on Mihu by the barrels, he ran back in case somebody was going to push through the smoke and connect us to trade, which can be common. So didn't go absolutely crazy. Nice stuff from G2, and that was a